Good evening. This is the second in a series of lectures on evolution as the basis of all faith. In this video, I will start developing the implications of the paradigm that I spoke of in the first lecture. The basic paradigm being that evolution is the basis of all ideas, all perceptions of faith and of reality. It is both scientific and paradigmatic for reality. I will speak on the basis of this book, which I wrote in Hebrew. It's called The Life of the World, The Faith of Evolution. On the back cover, I wrote the following. Some people reject evolution in the name of faith. Some people reject faith in the name of evolution. But Rabbi Cook said that when one penetrates the essence of evolution, one finds the divine matter, or the issue of the divine, the idea of the divine, illuminated with perfect clarity. Thus, evolution becomes the basis of all faith, and it is the vision, the paradigm that leads to an understanding of the great connection between humanity, God, and the world. Evolution is like the binding force of the divine, the transcendent, or the immanent, because evolution also indicates that God has two aspects. This is a good example of the way that one can derive theological implications from evolution. There are two visions of God, as immanent and as transcendent. God as immanent is divinity in all. Everything is divine. The world is full of divinity. It's inside the world. That is immanence. Transcendence is God outside the world. There is a paradigm. There is a perfection, something that the world grows towards, something that the world becomes more and more perfect as it strives to perfect itself to attain the absolute perfection of transcendent divinity. So it's from within and from without. Evolution shows that, because evolution is driven by God from within. That is the direction of evolution, the arrow of evolution. From the lowliest creature, higher and higher and higher until we reach man, and from there we reach social man, and we will see in later lectures how man is in fact social man. Because many of the things that define man, that characterize man, are only characteristics of men, of humanity, of men, women, and children together, of a human society. That is man. Man is the speaking animal. You can't speak to yourself. You have to have a culture. You have to have civilization. You have to have other people. So the basis of what we call man, the transcendence of man over other mammals, over other animals, of the whole kingdom of animalia, is expressed in being social. Man is social. And we will see how this is an important aspect of evolution, the appearance of the social. It's another level. But I don't want to get ahead of myself. The one thing that I started explaining is how evolution illuminates theology, because evolution is both immanence. The world is developing from within in a completely mysterious way, because we know that evolution works randomly, but out of this randomness there grows order, there grows consciousness, in a very similar way as out of the randomness of the quantum world, the quantum description of the world, we have a very solid world to live in. Even though I know that this table that I'm sitting by, these books behind me, the walls, they are in fact dynamic particles, and there's more space there than matter. Everything is in flux, and everything is just by chance that way. It's randomly standing as it is, because things could be different in a quantum world. Miracles can happen, but still we have a very stable world despite randomness. The same goes for evolution. There is a trend, there is a track that evolution is following. So you can see that this is immanence. Consciousness grows from within. But there is a trend. There's an arrow. We see that it starts from low and grows to high. So there is some kind of transcendent perfection towards the world, towards which the world is striving. So you can see that both visions of God, the complementary visions of God as immanent and transcendent, they are embedded in evolution. Evolution indicates growth. There is an arrow. It indicates development. And that development is both driven from within and from without. The same paradigm can be applied to man also, because man is driven from within. Our souls, our unique personalities are coming to the world, and there is something there that is the I, that is from within, that is immanent. And it is said in Jewish faith that a man's soul is the manifestation of God within him. That the soul is a part of divinity, part of God. So God is the soul of the world, is the soul of man from within. That is the I within us. But without us, there is culture. On the outside, there is culture, there is ideas, there are things that other people have discovered, and we grow towards that. It is not enough that we come into the world with our personality, with our I. The I needs to grow, it needs other people. The I would be mute if other people wouldn't speak to the I. The I is nothing without the thou, without other people that can teach us and show us. Without the wisdom of the ages, we are always relying on other people, on the wisdom of those that went before us, or those coexisting with us. The entire history of humanity is encapsulated in our environment. Things that we take for granted, they took years and generations to perfect, and now they are part of our environment. We inherit that. That is outside us, and we grow towards that. We acquire this wisdom, this practice. We grow outwards. So it's here too. It's immanent and transcendent. The world transcends us, transcends the boundaries of the I. But within us, the I, the immanence of the I is divine. There's something pushing us to learn, to grow, to be, to become. This is from within. And this is a reflection of divinity, within and without. And evolution is the grand picture of the same process. So we see that evolution becomes a paradigm of human psychology, human development, the development of the world, and the appearance of divinity within the world. God works in mysterious ways. And the mysterious ways, they manifest themselves as something that we can grasp, that we can see. So this is the way evolution works. It goes from this, then there's the amphibians, and then there's reptiles, and then there's fowl, and birds, and mammals, and man. We can see that. And that's how God works. There's the Big Bang, and there's quanta, and there's all kinds of physical things, but ultimately, it's a world. There's a world out there that we can perceive. There's a reality that we can grasp. And I will speak in a future lecture about different visions, different philosophical perception of reality. Is reality out there, or is just the person perceiving reality thinking that reality is out there? Classic philosophical conundrums, and we will investigate them from the evolutionary paradigm at a later subsequent date. So to sum up the second part, evolution has been erroneously perceived as something that is either for or against religion. In fact, against religion. Those who are religious say, okay, I want no track with evolution because it destroys my faith. Those who are atheists say, okay, good that it destroys my faith because this is the true thing. This is reality. This is the truth. I don't want that faith that asks me to reject evolution. Both parties agree on the vision of evolution as something that destroys faith. But this is not it. Evolution, quite to the contrary. It is the basis of all faith. It shows how God works in the world. It is blasphemy to deny evolution, as it is blasphemy to take out of evolution the divinity that is driving it. Because randomality is just the surface of things. The function, the way that God functions through randomness, both in physics and in evolution, this is the measure of freedom that is in the world. Nothing is constrained. Everything can go any other. There's just a roll of the dice. But beyond that, beyond what we perceive as just the roll of the dice, something is pushing the world in a direction. Something is stabilizing the cosmos in a way that appears to us as something that we can interact with. This shouldn't be taken for granted, because the more we know about the world, the more we see that it's quite illogical that the world exists, that we exist, and the way it exists. So, more of this in the next lecture.